Yo, listen up, it's time for a tale about a podcast that'll leave you frail. Hard way wrestling coming at you raw, bringing the heat, breaking every law. They drop the truth, no holds barred, talking smack, getting you hyped up hard, calling out the fakes, exposing the lies. Hard way wrestling taken by surprise. Hard way wrestling coming to your city. Nothing but realness, nothing but grit. Going down a gauntlet, making them all. Hard way wrestling, straight from the heart.
Oh, you got lock it. Welcome to Hard Way Wrestling on a Sunday. It's Settle Up Sunday, and we're here to settle up our fantasy league and go over that mess last night called some. Is it snowing?
Here it is.
It's flurrying a little bit outside. It's been flurrying here a little bit.
Yeah, here we got some flurries.
It's supposed to be 14 degrees in the morning.
Fuck that shit.
Exciting. Super exciting.
Hey, at least we're not in Buffalo right now.
Oh, did they get hammered?
Oh yeah, they're still getting hammered as of a couple hours ago.
I
so.
cannot imagine. I just can't imagine.
Hey, you know what? The interesting thing is though, if you live up there, the stadium is paying you $20 an hour and free food to help shovel the stadium out. I'm down. Free food, I'll take it.
You do like the free food.
I'll take
the free food.
That'll be Tony Khan's next venue, an outdoor snow show.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be. Oh, I can't even.
The way you can see all of John Moxley's blood on the snow pile.
Yeah. It'll look like
on a snowbank.
Yeah.
Jesus. Anyway, we're here to talk a little bit of fantasy league. We're here to talk a little bit of that debauchery last night called Survivor Series. Overall thoughts of the show, guys. We all hung out together. Scotty heard free food and he came over. You didn't take any with you.
You know what? I should have. I mean, I didn't even think about it until after.
Should have. There was so much.
I know.
Much.
Oh, that ziti, which was
Brian
amazing.
Hardy, what's up, buddy?
That baked ziti.
Hey, Hardy's in the house.
Brian, if you got good connection, you can go sit in your car for 30 minutes.
Get a window.
Come get in. Come get in. Just let me know. I'll send you a window. So anyway, we talked about Survivor Series last night. Guys, overall thoughts of the show. Ricky?
How many pizza cutters are we giving it out of what, 5?
I probably out of 5 pizza cutters. Actually, let's do 10 pizza cutters. 5 is very narrow. Very narrow. So let's do 10 pizza cutters. 10
pizza cutters. Come back to me. I got to reassess.
All right, go ahead. Lick the pizza cutters clean, Scotty. Give us a number.
I will give it 7.5 out of 10.
Okay.
There were some good moments. There were some good pops. There were some very bad moments and some very bad botches.
Well, we'll get to Naya for sure.
Yeah, we'll definitely we'll get to the fridge here in a little bit. But overall, again, like there were matches I really wasn't interested in. Like as much as I love LA, and again, we'll get through the whole breakdown. But LA Shinsuke was and I will call match of the night, in my view, match of the night was Bron, Sheamus, and Ludwig.
Okay.
So
yeah, that was pretty solid. I'll give it 7 Meltzers. I mean pizza cutters. Again, between the men's WarGames and I think you're right there, Scotty, the IC title triple threat was definitely a banger. A lot of awesome spots in that match. Didn't really care for Shinsuke and LA Knight. The women's WarGames was disappointing. Glad it started the show out. And
are we though?
Gunther and Priest wasn't bad, but it was exactly how I figured it was going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 4. I'm going to give it a 4 pizza cutters. I was not overly impressed with this pay-per-view. I felt like the women's match was kind of thrown together and it looked it.
Yeah.
It looked it. The Ludwig match, I do agree, was a great match. Shinsuke winning the title was very, very surprising. and I said it the other day when we did the review show that I can't imagine they're going to bring
Preview.
Shinsuke back. Preview, sorry. I can't imagine they're going to bring Shinsuke back and bury him again, and they didn't. So I give him a little credit.
Shout out to Jesse and her perfect card was the
Yep,
only
Jesse.
other person that picked Shinsuke with me.
I couldn't believe it. Yeah, Jesse got a perfect card, and we'll get into the fantasy stuff here in a little bit. But this was my worst card. I look like Rob
was.
did my card. So
It looked like Rob and Damian did your card.
Jesus. He actually, I probably had more chance of getting points if I'd picked the Undertaker to win. Let's get into it here. Women's Survivor Series match. Who was in this match? Rhea,
Io, Bayley, Bianca, and God damn it.
What's her name?
Io,
Jimmy's
Bayley,
wife.
Bianca, and Naomi. Yeah. Against Nia, Liv, Raquel, Candice LeRae, and Tiffany Stratton.
Yes. So this match started off
terrible.
This was a bad way to set the mood, I think, for Survivor Series. Nia started it off, and I've been praising Nia Jax about getting better and just being better at wrestling. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe she is better at wrestling, but when it comes to slinging a chair or throwing a chair around, I don't suggest that you do it ever again. They were some of the worst. They looked like some of the worst chair shots ever. They were chair shots that like hit an elbow, and they were just halfway through the swing would stop, and they just soften it up. They were terrible. They were god awful terrible, and most of it was Nia Jax. Most of it was Nia Jax in the beginning. That was probably.
Or did Tiffy Time come in there and show them?
Yes,
swing a fucking chair.
We'll definitely get to that. Tiffy, definitely the standout of this whole. I mean, we did get an EO spot with a trash can, which we knew we were gonna get. Which she's got to. That shit's got to stop. Honestly, she's after we saw what happened to Bronson weed.
Yeah.
Bronson,
End of the night.
Yeah, end of the night. I don't think we need that type. We don't need people doing that kind of stuff.
Bronson's also like 350 pounds.
I mean, that makes a difference, but you also got to remember too that EO she's 110 pounds, but she's still coming crashing down on a 110-pound ankle bone, right?
Yeah.
So where Bronson is used to carrying that weight around, probably not at a high rate of speed, but anyway. We'll get to that. Yes, that was probably a highlight to me. But this match started off with Nia not the greatest. Scotty,
Tiffy obviously had the biggest pop though, and we knew that briefcase was going to come out at some point, and when it did, Jesus, the crowd was ready for it.
Yeah. Would you rather them just go ahead and cash us in last night?
I wish they would have.
Yeah.
I wish she would have. I wish when Liv and Nia were both laid out there, she would just fucking covered them both.
I mean, honestly, to me, that would have been a better finish. One of them, Nia or Tiff, didn't matter. Nia or Liv. I would have imagined it because Liv and Nia, or I'm sorry, Liv and Nia and Tiffy are on the same show. That's who she was going to pin. But she should have pinned Nia, got her title, and got out of Dodge and left them down a man. Which caused
because if she leaves the cage, it's an automatic forfeit
for her,
for the whole team.
Oh, well,
yeah. Remember?
No, I didn't remember that.
Yeah, that was one of the rules. They said you can't if you leave the cage, it's a forfeit for the team.
Well, the hell with it. Then she leaves it forfeits and it ends that way.
The new world champion.
Yeah, and she calls now. She's got instead of one person chasing that title or being pissed off at her, now she's got 4 other women that are totally mad. I mean, that's how. I mean, honestly, better ending than how it ended.
Other women pissed at, or no, 7 other women pissed at her because all 7 other women were pissed at them that way.
Can you imagine if she cashed it in and became Tiffy 2 belts?
Oh my God! I sign me up.
That crowd would have fucking blown up.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Had Nia Jax not been in this match, I may have not have been wearing pants to watch it.
Yeah, you did mention that. So, Rhea's gear was paying homage to the video game that they're promoting right now. What is it, Diablo?
It looked like a Diablo 4 mask, if I had to guess.
It's pretty badass.
It was.
The gear is pretty badass. So, but the women, Rhea's team, the good guys end up winning this match. I think I picked the bad girls to win because I knew that Roman and them. I figured Roman and them were going to win.
Figured a face team would win one and a heel
Sure.
team would win the other. That's
So
where I went with it as well.
They got us. So Nia Jax's team did not win.
That cost me a perfect card.
Yes, cost you a perfect card. Anything else you want to say about this, boys, before we move on?
I mean, just that, there were good spots. Again, the Io Sky trash can bit was, although they ruined it, I think, a little bit with the Stratton dive as well. Like having two people dive at the same time, like they should have just kept.
Yeah, 'cause you got two groups of 4 women on each ring just standing around waiting to see who's going to go first. Like, I felt that was a little unnecessary to be at the same time as well.
Yeah.
Nikita Koloff is in the chat. Happy birthday, Nikita. 47, the real Nikita Koloff is in his 60s. But congratulations for making it to 47. We never thought you'd have made it there. So congratulations. Him.
Okay, no. He's 47. His liver is 120.
Yeah, that's for sure. He is like an old man last night. He was all snuggled up on the couch and out.
Yeah. He's gone.
What's the difference between Roman Reigns? What's the difference between Roman Reigns and World War One?
World War One.
Tessa says Ripley's team did an awesome job. Honestly, they were good. The team was good. Still can't get past all the botches and stuff going on with the chairs. At some point, you got to stop with the furniture. Everybody was throwing chairs in the ring last night, and I get that. I get it. It's a WarGames match.
You get the damn table in the ring, and then Rhea had to do it when she came out. I think it was.
Yeah, none of them can even lift the table.
I forgot who it was.
And I'm going to borrow Cornettism here. It's a hat.
It's a surprise.
It's a hat on a hat. Why would you bring weapons into a cage? The cage is already the gimmick. You're putting a gimmick on a gimmick. You're putting a hat on a hat. Like stop it. Just WarGames.
But think about it. You have 10 women in the middle of the ring wrestling. There's got to be something else in there, right? You got to have the EO jumping. You got to have the Tiffy doing her dive off the top. You got to have all the different things to make that match not boring, because that match would have been boring as fuck. Now, we probably wouldn't have been as irritated at the chair shots if there was no chair shots.
Or if Nia just wasn't involved in them.
Yeah, they were awful.
I was just not involved in this match in general.
Let me get back to Nikita Koloff here. What's the difference between Roman Reigns and World War One? World War One is over.
Good answer. I was going to say, did he fall back asleep?
Nope, that's a good one.
Oh, that's funny.
That's a good one.
I can hear him giggling as he's typing this.
As he's typing it, his cat's running across the keyboard again. This match is going to set the tone. Set the tone for terrible camera angles all night long, and we're going to see
pixelated.
Chick would have seen it all.
Set it on.
He's talking about EO.
Oh, EO.
Yeah.
Set it
that's the other thing. Going to that camera angle thing. WWE, since they got rid of Kevin Dunn, has been doing some amazing camera angles and really pushing the boundaries of what they can do. And then all of a sudden, last night, it looked like they went back to the Kevin Dunn style of producing. It wasn't the fast cuts the way they used to, but just bad camera angles that didn't work. And it's like, what are y'all doing? Is Kevin Dunn producing again? Why? No, get rid of this. Let's get it. Let's get those really fancy.
Actually, Kevin Dunn's camera angles aren't that bad compared to what was going on last night. There was a lot of cut angles. Looked like they came out from underneath the mat. It looked like an old, like a 2K21 where the camera was underneath the mat and all you could see was like feet.
Yeah, crotch cam.
Tessa says I watched wrestling last night. It was good. They have done it. I have done it. They have done it for years, and I'm glad that Ripley's team won. I think most people.
We forgot. Speaking of the camera, and remember the call of the elbow spot by Bayley in between the two rings.
Oh yeah, they might have been
right at the start.
The camera might have been a little too close to the action to catch them talking. Tony said, "Was there a stipulation that Dom couldn't save Liv?" I'm pretty sure Dom did not want to climb in the ring with those other women. He would have definitely got his ass kicked. A lot of times too that they don't want to take away from the match itself because everything else is already taken away from the match, like the weapons and whatnot. So
I still wanted when the bell rang, when all 10 participants were in the ring, for Truth to come out, slide in the cage as the referee's getting ready to lock it, and then climb the cage over and out like he just actually won a cage match and just run off.
Gotcha. All right, so we're going to move on. Shinsuke
on punchline here.
Which one?
For Nikita Koloff's joke.
He did say it because World War I is over. That means Roman's not.
Oh, I didn't see that. Where the fuck's it at?
Jesus. Scroll down. Anyway, LA Knight, United States champion versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura wins this match. He's been back, a week and a half, 2 weeks. Go home math on Friday Night SmackDown. He sprayed LA Knight in the face with the mist. I would have thought for sure that after he sprayed the mist that LA was going to win this match. Nah. Shinsuke Nakamura, new United States champion. Are we surprised? I know I am.
Not really. As I said, he's right where he needs to be in the mid-card picture, and I think LA needs to move on and get ready for a new feud. Maybe after Cody's done with KO, LA gets involved in it, or he gets into the world WWE title picture now.
You think he's just going to go away quietly?
No, I think maybe he gets one rematch, but he's not getting that belt back.
Gotcha.
I don't think anyway.
Scotty, were you surprised that Nakamura came in so quickly and won this title?
I was surprised very much so that old Shinsuke came back and won the belt like that. I was like, what the heck? And that's the match that kept me from having a perfect card was that. I literally, because I had picked, I was more concerned with the women's match. I was kind of wondering if the heels would go over in the women's WarGames, and did not even think anything about Shinsuke because I was like, no, they're not going to take this belt off of LA Knight. But yeah, no, I was shocked because I was just like, yes, Shinsuke is a mid-carder. Yes, this is the perfect spot for him, but why to build this match? If you're going to take the belt off of LA, why not build this feud? Why not have LA go over one, Shinsuke, have a controversial finish in the second, and then go to a third match where they take the belt off LA and put it on Shinsuke.
Well, not everything has to be a all drawn out or slow bleed. Not everything has to be like that. I mean, sometimes you want shocking moments. I don't know if this was like a super shocking moment, but it was you. I think the problem with doing trilogy matches all the time is they always do trilogy matches. There always has to be a third installment or a fourth one that has to be in a cage to say that that's the final. It doesn't always have to be that way. I think throwing surprises in here like this one is actually good for business. I was surprised, and I'm usually not this surprised when these things happen.
You had 2 title matches at this pay-per-view, and you figured Gunther wasn't losing his title, so that also kind of made me think that if there was a title change, the U.S. title was it.
Yeah. Well, I like when they do this kind of stuff. It keeps everybody on their toes. Triple H does an amazing job of doing different things now compared to how it used to be. So more props to him. We'll see where they go with Shinsuke. Maybe Shinsuke's tradition or a transitional champ. We'll see.
Question
We'll
who?
see. But now he's a heel. Now he's a heel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but the question is to who? Who would Shinsuke drop the belt to? Like, if he's a transitional champion, who does Shinsuke drop that belt to?
It's a good question.
I don't know. I think we're gonna get another. I think we're gonna get something. I think we're getting another match with Shinsuke in LA, and then they're gonna move on. So that's just me. We'll see. We had a 3-way match: Kaiser, Sheamus, and that dog. that dog. LeBron James.
LeBron.
As Damian as Seth said last night, LeBron James. Bron retains his title here. This was actually a pretty good match, right? This was the match of the night. You said this match night, Scotty. Why was this match of the night?
Because I'm not a big fan of 3-way matches, but this is one 3-way that told a very interesting story. You had Sheamus, who was trying to win his first IC title. You had the cocky Ludwig Kaiser, who thinks he deserves to have that IC title. And you have the champion at a disadvantage, having two different guys that he's got to face with two different, very different motivations for winning that belt.
There's no disadvantage with Steiner math.
Yeah, no, there's no disadvantage with Steiner math, but
it's been proven.
True story.
And again, like, the spots were great. They kept it moving. They had, good interaction between all three of them in different variations. It really was the match that piqued or kept my interest the most. As we'll talk about with the men's WarGames, like, I kind of petered off in the middle because I was like,
it's because you done went for your fifth plate of food.
Damian said this was the match you ate the most salad in.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. But no, the WarGames petered off in the middle because it's just like, all right, it's the same guys doing this. Like, they didn't have any interesting spots to keep you going until the very end of the WarGames. And as we'll talk about with Gunther and Priest, just the simple fact that, we kind of knew the outcome of that. So it was like, but yeah, no, I loved what was the one, couple of the spears that Bron hit were phenomenal.
That flying shoulder tackle he did.
That's the one.
Talk about the one on the outside of the ring.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that was
the shot out of the cannon.
It was actually nice that the camera wasn't in the right spot for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
It looked devastating.
Yeah.
Freaking Sheamus using the Celtic cross. I was hoping he was going to hit. There was
the Razor's Edge.
Celtic cross.
Okay.
It's
not a baseball bat. It's a shillelagh.
Yeah, yes, getting baseball batted with that shillelagh. No, there were so many great moments in that match. Then, and again, the right guy won. They don't need to take this belt off of Breaker just yet, especially because they already did once already. And then but it really gave the other two guys a good showcase and kept.
Kaiser's grown on me a little bit.
Yeah,
here lately,
like a fungus.
Yeah, I like the cockiness and he seems to be a up and comer. I don't know that he will fare well if he drops from Imperium with Gunther, but I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him eventually pick up the IC title.
I'd be about that. Yeah, he does a great job. And he looks good and he's got great posture. Jesse loves his posture. So,
I laugh when
silly. Next match, Gunther versus Damian Priest. No surprises here. Gunther retains. They tried to make it seem like Gunther was Scotty's Dom. It's all about family. They tried to make it seem like Priest kind of was throwing Gunther off for like the last couple of weeks building into this match. During this match, Priest hurt his right shoulder and then he hurt his left shoulder, and Gunther took advantage of that and ends up retaining his title. Right move here, wrong move here, guys.
Right move, and the fact that they got Balor involved to kind of take Priest the rest of the way out of the match will get that story started again. I could see a triple threat down the road because Gunther did take exception to Balor involving himself and fucking booted the shit out of him.
Yeah, I actually think that will be the next great match for Gunther. Fergal, who always be Fergal to me. Who always be Fergal to me. I actually think he'll give Gunther a better match than Priest would.
Yeah,
definitely a size deficit there, but just maybe we get Demon.
There was it Fastlane one year? It was Brock versus Balor, and I remember watching that pay-per-view thinking this is just going to be a shit show of a match with this beast and Brock and Balor's little scrawny ass, and it was actually a very good match. So even though they don't match up size-wise, I think they still put on a hell of a show, and I think Gunther and Balor could do the same.
Yeah.
Right on. So Gunther retains here. Let me back to where I was. Men's War Game match. There's a lot of inside stories here. With the good bloodline. Of course, the bad bloodline is a bad bloodline. They lose here. There was a lot of internal stories again. CM Punk, Roman. Punk was getting ready to leave the cage. Roman puts his hand in front of the cage and lets Sami go. Kind of tells Punk, "No, you stay still. You and I got to talk." So I'm sure we had a very short conversation between the pouting Punk and Roman. There was some
remember when Roman was the next one out, Punk fucking just ran right by him.
Yeah.
And kept Roman in the cage to last.
Yeah. A lot of good spots in this match. A lot of high risk moves. We got a Bronson Reed splash from the top rope through a table. A miss, by the way. An amazing grab. So Roman grabs Punk. Was it Punk or Roman? No, Punk grabs Roman.
Punk grabs Roman. Yeah.
Pulls him off seconds before Reed hits his table. Finding out now that Reed shattered his ankle and will be out, for God knows how long. So Reed is definitely he pulled an edge. Coming off the top rope there. Did Punk ever get his muffins? No, he didn't.
No,
he didn't get his muffins.
That was hysterical. I know Punk, and we'll talk about that here in a second. There's one other. If we talk a little bit about the press scrum afterwards, there was a really funny Io Sky moment as well. But like during that press scrum, like I know Punk is straight edge, so I know he doesn't do drugs, alcohol, that kind of stuff. But I swear to God, he looked like he was high.
No vitamins.
Yeah, he didn't take his vitamins or whatnot. Or did take his vitamins, I should say. No, it was hysterical. I'm just like watching him like, what the fuck is wrong with him?
Rob said Jimmy broke his toe.
Yeah, they said that in the media.
Yeah, I think I heard that too.
Yeah.
Tony says, I love that Gunther doesn't have to hit people with his finish to beat him. He has like so many different finishes. He was using that stack up power bomb for a while. He did hit that and that no pin there. He was using that. I think he was using a sleeper for a while.
Yeah.
He stopped doing that after Cody flipped
doing
over.
Some Blackpool Combat Club crap with the
he was dropping the elbows,
face, and then the bulldog choke or whatever, or what the hell they call it.
No, Gunther's very well rounded. So takeaways from this match, guys. Ricky, what did you think? What did you think of this?
It was pretty good.
But where do we go from here? First of all, not takeaways. Hell with takeaways. We all know that the good bloodline win. Where do we go from here? Right? Are we done with Solo? Are we done with what are we doing?
Solo was left by himself after the rest of the guys took out Jacob and Tonga and Tongaloa, and after Bronson Reed nearly killed himself jumping off a cage. So Solo was there 5-on-1, basically taking every finisher possible. Roman gets the pin, so there's obviously going to be a Roman versus Solo, probably tribal rules match or whatever, for the Ulafala.
Got you.
And I think after Roman finally gets it back, that's when we're going to see the return of the final boss.
Okay. Well, Jacob Fatu stood out in this one. You can almost see these guys kind of going on, like doing single stuff. Maybe we get a Jey Uso versus the Samoan Werewolf. We're going to get some singles matches out of this. I don't know that they can continue to do the group stuff. I think we're going to have an issue with Roman and Punk here. At the beginning of the year, we're going to see where that goes. I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
That could happen, I want to say, maybe in the Royal Rumble match itself, where they're in the ring at the same time and it's time to go.
Yeah. I don't know how Paul Heyman is going to keep these two from killing each other. But there was definitely some respect between them both last night after Roman saved Punk and then Punk saved Roman. So
Paul's out there walking around like he's the fucking mob boss.
That's what he did. He did look like a mob boss.
Yeah.
Paul Soprano. That's what we're gonna call him.
I love that.
What Rob wants to know, what's the favorite Paul owes Punk now? A Haktua, maybe? I don't know. I mean, this could lead into CM Punk winning or Roman winning the title back, and Punk wanting a shot at that title.
Yeah, that's what I think it's going to be. If and when Roman wins the title back, I'm first challenger.
Punk Gunther, Roman Gunther. I don't know. What belt are we going to give Roman? Back with Cody? He's going to take it off of Cody?
Probably.
The ultimate baby face in the company?
Well, they were talking it could be a triple threat between Cody, Rock, and Roman at Mania. So
they don't Rock does not need. They don't need to put Rock in a triple or in a title match.
They can, but with three people, that it makes it more obvious because Rock doesn't need the world title anymore. Yeah, and I doubt that they would put it on him anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Rob's got a good one. So CM Punk, whatever number Roman gets, CM Punk takes it.
Oh,
so maybe Roman gets number 30 in the Rumble,
and then
CM Punk asks for it.
There you go. That's an interesting
and
one.
Then we get Punk challenging. He won't challenge Cody. I think he'll challenge Gunther.
Yeah,
I think that's the way to go.
But yeah, no, the match itself was good overall. And again, the middle section was a little, but once Sami got in there and then Punk came in and then Roman, it really kicked into high gear. And the other thing that was interesting to me though was the thing that kind of got me was like, because we were all talking like, where's Seth going to play into this? Because Seth and Bronson still have something going. So we were all kind of
Bronson's now out. So.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but during the match, like, what I was half expecting was that Seth was going to pop up, do something to Bronson to kind of take Bronson out of the match, which didn't happen, which I was very surprised by because they have Seth and Bronson had something. So I was like, all right, let's see if that kind of plays into things. That never did. And then
somebody was hearing Shield music.
Yeah.
Bro, I swear to God, the only thing I think was, oh my God, Jeremy's right.
Yeah.
Tebow was right. They're going to put the Shield back together. And I could have swore I heard Echo. And I was like,
no, you were hearing echoes. Sit down and eat your gummies, boy.
Yeah, I was maybe a little too vitamined up last night to really catch all what was going on.
But it
was funny. It fucked me up for like 10 minutes. I kept looking around. Come on. Somebody else heard that, right? They're like, No one's like, well, just sit down, just
Right.
relax, eat
The other-
eat another roll.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing that surprised me was, I mean, again, we've been talking about, the return of the final boss. And when is he coming back? When does this whole thing play out? Because what I honestly thought was that as soon as they lost, because I knew that the new bloodline was going to lose, but as soon as they lost, my thought was, all right, that's, you hear it at the end of the show, Rock's music kicks in, Rock stands there kind of, shaking his head, looking at the whole situation, looking at Roman looking at the Rock through the cage. And, you kind of get that seed planted of, all right, now he's back. Now he's going to take over the new bloodline. He's going to make Solo prove himself as the quote unquote tribal chief, and really make some start to make some changes in the new bloodline, which ends up ultimately becoming their downfall. And later on, Roman gets the Ulafala back, and yada yada, but which leads to Rock Roman. But the music didn't drop last night, and I'm like,
Scotty and his fantasy booking. I'm telling you, the music did drop last night. I
Yeah.
heard it.
Look, the only music that dropped in your head last night was "I hear voices in my head."
That's true.
Easy, Scotty. You're gonna get us flagged.
Yeah. Don't sound exactly like that song.
Oh,
Yeah.
try. My tone is so far off they can't even recognize it.
All right, well, let's get into it. Updated points after WarGames last night. If you don't play in our fantasy wrestling league, what are you doing? You're missing out. You need to get in. It's $5 a month. You cannot beat it. It's runs for 2 months straight. It's all on a point system, and at the end, the winner gets to be the champion. Actually, if you go to our Patreon right now, you'll see a picture of the champion. That's how you know the wrestling league. That's how you know to click on the wrestling league is the champion is holding his belt, and that champion is me. Anyway, as of now, Scotty's got the money in the bank, or Scotty in the bank. Scotty,
Should've
you
cashed it in.
literally,
Really did it, Scotty.
you
I
screwed
should-
up.
I
Just
should-
like you did Google Play. You fucked it up.
I fucked it up. Yep, I did. I should have cashed in last night. Again, it was the women's match that had me. I said, you know what? If I'm wrong on this, and I'm fucked by 1 point, and I'm the one person that cashes in that doesn't win, I'm gonna be the laughing stock of the league for the rest of
We
my
were
life.
already the laughing stock of the league.
Well,
No, that was
no.
Damian.
Yeah, it's Damian.
Yeah, that was Damian. Now it's Rob. That's not Rob. So anyway, if you'd like to join the fantasy league, it's $5 a month. You go to our Patreon page. You can pay for it on there, and it keeps you. First off, once you get into our Patreon, you not only get the fantasy league, you get bonus material. There's stuff that we fire off and we put just on Patreon only. Some of it is a little risque. Scotty might have his shirt off. Now, don't want to give it away, but yeah. Where's your relaxed fit shirt today? Oh, now it's relaxed. Never mind.
yeah,
Never mind. So,
He didn't have the hamburger meat hanging out.
all right. After WarGames last night, Jessie with a perfect card. She's done this a lot. Just hasn't really capitalized on it. Jessie with the 15. There was 15 possible points last night. Micah second. And Scotty tied him 13 points apiece. Ricky with 12. Randy with 10. Myself with 9 points. Way to shit the bed, champ. Rob had 7 points. That's typical Rob points, right?
Five of that was just clicking the bar that had his name on it.
Yeah, he got points for putting your name on it. So, so as of today, the point standings are still at this. Again, Scotty has the Scotty in the bank. He can cash it in at the next pay-per-view. If he wins, all he has to do is outscore the champion, which is me. If he outscores me, he becomes the champion. This next pay-per-view is the only one he can use that. You do not use it in the last pay-per-view of the cycle because that becomes money in the bank. So you can earn your next money in the bank in at the end of this month. What's it? It's AEW, right?
Yeah, World's End or whatever.
World's End. So anyway, updated points. Myself, I have 70. Right behind me with 6 points behind. Jesse was 64. Randy was 64. Ricky was 62. Micah was 62. Scotty with 58, and Rob with 50. Now, some of those points seem like they're a little far off. They're really not, because AEW puts 13, 14, 15, 16, 20 matches on their card, and one slip up on an AEW card can absolutely fuck your fantasy league.
Well,
completely.
look at it this way. Like, all the WWE pay-per-views seem to top out anywhere between 15 and 20 points. An AEW pay-per-view usually tops out between 45 and 50 points.
Right. So it's like they'll do what they did. What they actually had less matches. Nine
matches at Full Gear.
What last year? What was it? Revolution 13 matches, and that wasn't including the pre-show.
Yeah.
So it was literally 7 hours of wrestling.
Yeah, and like 70 some possible points, I think.
I'd rather be interrogated for 7 hours than to sit for 7 hours of AEW wrestling. But Tony, end of the year, he's going to do it to us. He likes to get everybody off the catering table just for one night only. The return of Ricky Starks, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, the casino catering table match.
So. Anyway, that is going to do it. If you've dropped in today, thank you so much for hanging out. We wanted to get this out before it became irrelevant. So, but if you're just catching us live, or if you're catching us afterward, please hit like and subscribe and ring the bell on YouTube. We are trying to build our YouTube as much as possible. Again, I mentioned it earlier. Our Patreon page. Please go join that. That helps us out with making a little bit of money. Honestly, if you win the fantasy league, you get $25. So you get
QR code right there.
Yeah, you can hit that QR code. He's only got one card. He's been carrying it around like his license.
Kind of.
So also, if you don't want to
get yourself some merch on there, there's
t-shirts. We actually possibly have another place coming with t-shirts. But we'll get into that at another time. If you don't like to look at us, which honestly, it's a Sunday afternoon. I look like shit. I feel like shit. Tired. My knees hurt. But you don't want to see all that. You can go look at us on iTunes and Spotify and Google Play. No.
Nada.
No. Can't do the Google Play because Scotty fucked it up. Yeah, Scotty fucked it up. But you can go here is on iHeartRadio and any your best podcasting platforms. Go click the like and tell us you love us. Give us a review. We'd love to hear that. We'd like to see this. I even take a 1-star review. That's all I want. I just want 1 star. Of course, I fucked up the algorithm.
You don't need the Meltzer rating. Just
give us a 5. Just shut up and give us a 5. Right? That's all you got to do. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back later on this week. Possibly Tuesday, definitely Friday, maybe. So we'll have a schedule here. We got 2 days coming up this week that we're going to be fired on. So be looking forward to some wrestling news because that's where you get it. This honestly is where you get it. Highway Wrestling. And if you join the Patreon, you get extra wrestling news. There's articles dropping all the time. If you want to know what happened to Ricky Starks, I got it. I got it. So, anyway, that's going to do it here. We'll see you guys next time.
On the hard way.
Oh, man.